And welcome. You're hearing me? No, you're not. I don't know what's going on. Well, can you hear me? 1, 2, 1, through. Hopefully you can hear me. Can you please let me know if you hear me? Because I can't see myself working. I can see myself working. How are you? Welcome. Thank you so much. And it's great to see you all. Welcome to tonight's forecast and outlook. We're going to have a look at the current conditions. We are going to then look at the latest models. We're going to then pop into the rainfall outlook and see what the hell is going on and try and interpret the mess that is this current system. And of course, we're going to pop over to your questions and find out what is the pressing questions out there about this whole schmozzle and mess, because that's what we've got at the moment, do we not? It is just a messy, and I can say it 3 more times, messy. All right, let's get into it first of all. We'll have a look at what current is going on. And to do that, of course, we're going to pop into and have a look at what the hell's happening for us right now. So we've got a lovely view of the space there. I'm not sure what's going on. And of course, it's going to do this to me every time. I need to go back to... No. Going to... my God, every day it does this. Good job. All right, we will get this soon. Don't worry about that. And we're going to quickly get rid of that. And I don't know why it does this to me every time, but we'll get rid of it. Don't worry, don't stress. We're going to every night. But anyway, it would not be a live stream without YouTube or OBS or doing something, just doing what it wants, like it is right now. Come on. There we go. Now we can see it. Beautiful. Sup pick. Let's go. Right. So currently at the moment we've got we can see a couple of systems, and they are this trough system here, which is quite active. You can see there's actually been severe thunderstorm warnings out for today, especially around this area here in the Upper Hunter, sort of western mid-north coast, and I'm not sure the southern northern tablelands, I think, about that area. But yeah, there's definitely some pretty nasty storms going there for heavy rainfall and other bits and pieces. So that's the initial part. That's what's coming through overnight tonight, which will then kick off what's going off on the coast. We'll find out very shortly what that's going to be, because it's switch between today. There's a trough, then it's a low, now it's a trough, but I think the Bureau is leaning back towards a low again. Whether it's embedded in a trough or not, I guess it's we're going to find out. The other interesting feature here, as you can see, it's spinning around, is this low over in eastern South Australia, or central eastern South Australia. And you can see one very interesting thing is that in the last few frames, it has this beautiful, obviously, circulation, but the last few frames, it disappears totally. And that's very much an indication that the system is now starting to be absorbed by the trough. And you can see, if you watch very closely, the circulation starts here and then it pops up over here somewhere. Just in those last frames, this area here. And that's the key to what's all this mess is about, and which is why the models are flip-flopped and that sort of stuff. It's not that it's going to get rid of this event. In fact, the event's still going to be pretty severe in some places. It's just still, we don't know where. But it is going to likely be anywhere sort of, I think, around this area. Still, I think the south coast misses out. I think the Illawarra mainly misses out as well. I think we're still on the southern periphery of this, not sure yet. I guess that's my feeling it is at the moment, looking at these models. There's been no real guidance come out from the Bureau about this today, other than some generally sort of wafty wording, which we'll look very shortly, which just says, still basically we don't know where it's going either. At this stage, they've targeted the southern mid-north coast and the northern Hunter, so somewhere around here is what they've got severe weather warnings out, and that's really only for the winds. This area here specifically, because of the higher terrain is going to be poking up into this jet stream and these stronger winds coming down here from the northwest, which is wrapping into whatever will be out here off the coast where it chooses to go. But you can see the jets here, which is exactly what you need to for anything to happen, whether it's going to be a low or trough. Especially in ECL, this split jet system here is incredibly important to see development of any East Coast low. The other thing too is this high over here is still hanging on with it bravely, because you can see these winds coming here from the east-northeast and then sort of wrapping down around here. We really need that at this stage to be sort of more pushing over here. We're going to cradle the low on top of it, any sort of ECL, but at this stage it's not. I don't know if the high's going to hang in there, honest, because this is why we see this thing depart very quickly on Saturdays. I think this whole system gets a huge bunt, and that's basically because there's stuff coming from behind it. But so at this stage, it's a very dynamic but very potentially severe, obviously, wherever the greatest focus is going to be. Still, there's going to be some great falls in here, and especially those places that need it. And we've seen some good falls today. You can see these clusters, all these mesoscale sort of complex, convective complexes, which is where storms basically group together and have a party together, and they can drop pretty decent falls, obviously, because the convection rates or precipitation rates within storms is obviously a lot more efficient than it is with sort of stratiform rain, and so we're seeing some good falls under these areas here. And of course, southeast Queensland is copying it again, lucky them. But so really, all eyes now turn on again, as this said, this part of the coast here, as to just what happens. Now, I have seen no models at all today. I've been absolutely flanging flat out with work, so I don't know if anybody else has had even a check for it. I just saw some of the warnings come through, and I was finally checking if Terry Hills is back online, which it finally is. And I can see that there's a couple of warnings, generally the inland areas, nothing much other than that one little patch here. So, we're going to explore what happens together, and that's going to be pretty fun for us all. But in saying that, we're about to hop on to the journey together, and we'll go and have a look at the latest. Just going to say hello to everybody at the stage and see what's happening with you guys before we pop into the clumpier stuff, or the stuff. So we're going to say hello, Bob's your uncle, lovely to see you. Mr. Well, lovely to see you. Thank you again for helping out. Oscar, lovely to see you. Rachel, good afternoon or good evening, whatever it is now. I think it's evening, isn't it? Hey, Mr. Sharp, Mayor of Camden, or unofficial Mayor of Camden, good evening. Bradley, lovely to see you. Been a while. Hope you're well. Lions for life. Go Blues, absolutely, and lovely to see you. Thanks for joining us. We'll get out of here so quick so people can go and watch the Origin. It looks like a good night tonight, Origin. I don't think that rain we can see to the northwest is going to make it just yet. And maybe towards the end of the game, which will be interesting, I guess, in terms of strategy, whoever picks which end of the field and who's got the better sort of side that can play in wet weather football. I mean, there's definitely a possibility, but it's looking like it's going to hold off just for now. But it's quite a dynamic situation, so who knows quite yet. We'll check that in a minute. Let's go. We'll go down the stew and hello everybody quickly. And I think I've got everybody. LCFR, which I think that's an aviation term. Mr. Well will probably correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's a... Anyway, g'day LCFR. Welcome. If I've seen you before, then hello again, but if I haven't seen you, welcome to the channel. Lovely to see you in the comments here. Jabira is doing something, absolutely, just ticking a box here, there, and everywhere in their grey cardigans and their beige paint and their cup of coffee and their cup of tea, because coffee would be too risque for the Bureau. Love you, Bureau, if you're listening. Naz, good evening. Riley Robinson, good evening. Great to see you. Funky Diva, lovely evening. Funky Diva, if you'd been listening to our live streams the last few days and that sort of stuff, we actually said it was probably going to be partly cloudy with lots of sun around today, because today was a bit of the big deep breath in for this system, whatever it's going to do, and we'll see very shortly about that. And I think I've got everybody. Let's go. Hence, thunderstorms heading towards the coast. Oscar, they sure are. They're heading basically towards the coast, whether they get across the Great Dividing Range yet or not. It'd be interesting to see, because the primary driver of them is the upstairs instability, and it's a bit slower moving than the steering winds for these storms are. So they may run out of puff as they get across the Great Dividing Range into a bit more of a hostile environment. But maybe not. Guess we'll soon find out. Let's hope. I know the Central Coast last night, I think, got some flash and bang. It wasn't overly strong, but better than nothing. All right, I think I've said hello, everybody. I've said welcome, everybody. Let's go. All right, let's hop into it. And we will... the suspense is killing me. Let's get on with this. I'm going to just play this part because it's going to be good for the chapters when I create them, so just give me a sec. Latest models. There you go, latest models. Yay! Nice little divider. I forgot to add the microphone to it yet, which is stupid me. But anyway, at least I got it done. That's a KPI tick for today. All right, let's go. Enough yabbering. Let's stop the blabbering. Let's head on into. We always go for the winds, and we also go for max winds, of course, straight away or max gusts, because we want to see, what is driving the system, and it gives us a big picture. So, quick look at the high level view. We're on EC. I'm not sure EC is updated yet, so we might have to do to GFS just to start with. And of course, here goes Windy having its conniptions. Oh my God, someone's actually asking me to do a job. Come on, chop chop. Windy. Let's go. Come on, chop chop. There we go. Rightio, so this is GFS as of 6 p.m. So it's pretty much on the spot. I think we can see this massive bank of northeasterlies building off the coast, and that's obviously associated with that ridge that's going to cradle in this system just for a day or even maybe 48 hours before it capitulates and dissolves into nothingness, much like a thing of fairy floss. Add a bit of spit, it'll dissolve, and it's useless. But Garmin, I don't want Garmin. Goodbye. I don't get rid of advertising. I'm paid for advertising. All right, so that's what GFS says. We're going to zoom in now, and we're going to look at the local conditions, and we'll obviously keep in a bit of context. So we'll keep a bit of the north coast in, as well as a bit of the out to ocean, just so we can see what that context is and what's coming. We might get a little bit just about there, I think, just so we can get to see. So remember last night we talked about a couple of key things to watch, and we can all watch that together. The first thing is going to be obviously that burst of these winds here, because that's obviously, we know that indicates now to us where the upper and mid-level system is. And of course, we're going to watch your stuff off the coast here, because that's the servo that the system is ploughing towards, and hopefully they'll hook up like a good Tinder date and behave themselves. But otherwise, let's roll the tape. All right, so let's have a look. We'll look at tonight. We'll go to midnight tonight, because we're not obviously not expecting anything to happen tonight. So this is already good looking. We can see this bank of northeasterlies off the coast starting to build, which is what we really want to see in terms of this whole system. Some food coming in. So here, and then we've got this area here, which is that upper system and mid-level system approaching. You can still see there's that inflow from the east and southeast, which is good. And when we're looking at this sort of systems, we preferably want to be sort of seeing the inflow like from the east and the northeast, because that means we're still close by the systems. As soon as we start getting the southeast or even southerlies coming into us, that we know things are a bit in danger of. We're on the very southern edge of any system, and we're probably going to miss out most of it. So that's one thing you can keep on an eye on as we sort of scroll through this stuff, is just look about where this is. But at this stage, we've got a weak onshore flow. As you can see here, a little bit of a bump, which means there's something trying to form just off here. Nothing too exciting at this stage, but definitely to keep an eye on. And again, this is the target area, probably around here, maybe even a bit south to us. And we can see here the GFS hooking in some moisture into us, because this is just GFS. So that's one area. So number one you want to watch. Number two is obviously the ones you flush, but they're also the winds building up out the sea. And then number three is over here, is where the upper level system. So you want the upper level and the mid level systems out there. And this is obviously the surface level, or the servo as we'll call it. And so there are three key areas that we want to watch. All right, so without further ado, let's see what GFS is going to prog. All right, so let's go into tomorrow morning. So great away, you can see the over here, these upper system and mid-level systems are getting closer. Straight away you can see. And then you can see the classic Nike swell wrapping into the coast. Now, you'll notice one thing very quickly, that dead area here, so that's potentially where we may see a low something form, but you can see the hooking in here, and that's good to sunny coast. And then you get to us, look at those winds, southeast to southerly a little bit. So and northern beaches is just in that sort of inflow area. So you can see there's quite an area here between the southern system here and our system up here. So this is the wrapping around here, and then you can see the southern system here. There's a rule just basically that lies between us, and then you can see. But the other interesting thing is this here. That says to me that the upper level system and the mid-level system is extending further south than models originally thought or forecast, which is a good sign, to be honest, because it may then drag this stuff down a bit further, which then gives us a better chance of it wrapping in. But we'll see. It's not panic stations just yet. But again, you can pretty much see the line yourself running almost through I Go Camping's house up there in the fabulous northern beaches. But you can see again really clear just that sort of delineation. So this, you can see it just hooks around, and then you can see this stuff here coming in. So just two different air masses. Good air mass, tick, tick. Dodgy air mass, we'll put a question mark just to see what it's bringing in, because it may bring some moisture up, but I'm not overly convinced about this. And this is good over here, of course, because this is our upper level stuff that's going to bring across the temperatures that are needed, or the upper temperatures that are needed to generate or exacerbate or increase the instability, which of course then leads to trough/low/ fun for some and gaslighting for the others. And we can pretty guess where we're laying at this stage, but again, GFS. Let's go to Thursday Arvo, or Thursday morning. So pretty much not much change. You can see here this upper system now is really starting to get close to the coast, and this is where it's almost game on time. So, here, look at this, almost close to the coast, almost. Now, the interesting part here for me is this area here, increasing that really, that low-level southeasterly is really getting sucked in there. So I said, as before, still gives me some hope that there's something above stairs that's going to be good. You can see here, northeasterly flow is still not overly exciting, but it's definitely coming in. Sunny coast now is definitely under that. So the air mass sort of is starting to be here. And you can see the main trough starting to form right down here. So this is the southern end of the trough here, wrapping into it. And if the trough's deep enough, then we can still get some good rain on the southern end of it, because you have, not only do you have obviously the moisture coming in from this northeasterly component, you also have this part coming in here, and you also get a bit of dry air coming in from in the west, sort of all, let's say, we'll go back and actually put it a bit closer to where I was. I'm still looking at Sunny Coast. In fact, I might just I'll drag that up a minute. So you've got that part coming in here, you've got this part coming in here, and then you've got this part coming in here too. So this is the bullseye is going to be sort of around here somewhere. So that's still okay. Again, the trough laying down here, and the very southern edge of the trough here. So you can still get some decent rain here, as long as this moisture from here is getting into that system, because moisture colliding with desert, like inland dry air, is always a great rain producer. Obviously not going to be as solid as anywhere near the trough's going to be, but still, it's better than what we initially thought. All right, so let's pop ahead now to Thursday. Let's go Thursday lunchtime and just see if we can see. Not real much now. That's definitely something to worry about coming forward, because that area here is the part that's pretty interesting and a bit worrying. You can see now it's actually disconnected, or detached from the main source of energy, which is off the coast here. So big cut there. You can see really now, even that area before is now crept up even further up the coast, now sort of between Sunny Coast, or northern Sunny Coast, and the southern Hunter. You can see onshore flows is quite wide here, and then you can see where the greatest focus is here. So the trough is moved up here now, and now we're under this general inflow into the upper and mid-level systems coming in, which isn't the best for rain. It can be once the upper temps or the colder air above it gets across us, but you can see here these winds are getting stronger and stronger, which means it's quite strong, the system that's moving towards us. The key will be where it decides to park itself. All right, let's go next one. So we're going to go to the Arvo. We'll quickly skip through this, otherwise we'll be here all afternoon. Okay, so rightio. So now you can see, I'm going to have to probably move this up a bit, I think, because there's not going to be much action down the Illawarra. All right, now you can probably see, even just visually for yourself, there's people who've been part of the streams and been part of this sort of process before. chatted before, you can really see the trough really firing up right here. You can see the very southern end of the trough here, and you can see that onshore flow and the Nike swirl, the Nike flick definitely coming in here. And then you can see this area, just that last one. So flick here, flick there, and then you can see just here, just a very weak area of divergence. So, this is where winds are converging and wrapping into a trough. Good, so that's tick. See here where the winds come down and they go, ooh, and then away. That's bad winds, bad, naughty winds. That's divergence. And when that happens, that's not great for anything, because obviously the air is ripped apart, going in two directions. Yeah, it's not great for convection. It doesn't really help maintain updrafts or any sort of rainfall now, the asterisk we'll put against it is there something then going to be developing down here? Because look at this patch. So you can see coming in here, that little kink is the sort of not too bad, but it does take a bit of sting out of it, but it does increase here. So trough up there, but then this area down here with this increasing winds here, is that where we're going to see vorticity? And then again, you can see the second part down here, of course, crappy air mass, obviously to the south, better air mass up to the mountain. You can see why, again, the Bureau is sort of focusing on that sort of hunter area perhaps. And then you can see this area just slowly encroaching to the east. Very strong winds still across. Now, I'm just wondering if that's because these are the winds that are being lifted up over the escarpment, which is why you see those wind speeds rather than just like an inflow sort of wind itself. This is just where the winds hitting the Great Dividing Range and being forced up over it and then sort of accelerating on the other side of it. That is probably more, because you see Goulburn here. Let's get rid of those lines now. We don't get too messy, but you can see Goulburn down here, like it's normally on the sort of the eastern, I'll say the eastern side, and Goulburn people will probably be horrified at that. But really, like, it does sort of, the sort of east-west divide sort of does sort of run like that, generally speaking. Now, don't hold me, that's not exactly topographically correct, but it's generally like that. So this will definitely be, there's winds coming in and then bumping up over, and then accelerating, downslope acceleration as they go over the side of it, and then up into any system that's developing. So may not be the best sign for us yet. I'm still going to hold some copium about that. All right, let's hop into Friday afternoon now, because nothing's... Thursday afternoon, because nothing all Thursday night. There we go. Picked it like a broken nose. So there we go. So initially, that focus of the trough we saw up here in the mid-north coast, which is where the Bureau's flag, you can see very much now down here, and this is... Look at that. Wow, and then you can see the air squeezing as it hooks into the Hunter, even to now towards the northern Sandy Coast. But you can see also what's happening is that area before where we had quite a clear line between the southern air mass and the northern air mass is now almost gone, because you can see, look at this, winds coming around and then wrapping up into the northern beaches, and the southern half of us, and especially sort of a line here, are still under this yucky sort of southeasterly, sort of southerly flow, so coming in there. But northern beaches is just starting to cop that instability that's moving down from the north. Now, if this stuff keeps moving down, then we have definitely got some chance of something coming. So let's cross our fingers. Obviously, it's a little bit late, but let's go to midnight now and see. Now, well, there you go. There you go. Okay, so another interesting shift. Now, this is just GFS. I don't need to hurry up. I was going to be all freaking night, and you guys will be bloody falling asleep. All right, let's. We can see here, if the annotate's going to work for me. Come on, baby, let's go. We can see here the trough now has pushed down further. So the southern edge now resides in the sort of northern, almost the central Hunter. You can see the inflow here wrapping in now, and you can see how far now this northeasterly is coming out. Look at that flying through the Sunny Coast. And you can see now it's now pushing through the northern beaches and central basin, central Sydney. And you can see here, definitely this area here, I'm assuming it's pretty good showers. The southern edge here still under that little bit of that sort of 50-50 sort of flow, a bit of southern flow here, a bit of northern flow, but it's better than what we saw. And I'm assuming this is going to keep pushing south, which is an interesting scenario that we didn't see before already. So let's get rid of that eraser and let's get on to now. And I'm not going to annotate the screen going on now. We'll just get on with this because otherwise we'll be here all night. All right, so there we go. So pushes down into us midnight. You're going to see a bit of easing because that's normally the diurnal effect, which is obviously the daytime heating, if you can call it that, versus the nighttime. Of course, the nighttime, the sea is warmer because it obviously retains heat better than the land. So focus will tend to shift back over the sea at nighttime with these sort of winds will ease. But you can see very much here, very much of a vorticity trying to get going. Nothing on the northern side, so it's not a circulation, nothing like that. But you can see just with your own eyes, hopefully, it's starting to sort of spin around a little bit. And let's go into Friday. Let's go into Friday morning, 6 a.m. Friday morning. And there you go. So cut off on the neath side, that southerly tongue that we've been watching for, now wrapping in. Really, it has just basically sliced off, sliced the trough in half. You can see here now, it's cut totally the servo, which like everybody at the moment can't get fuel. And you can see with these winds now, they've shifted. So what we've seen, and hopefully your guys are watching that inland stuff, you can see there southeasterly good, and then you just start to notice at midnight that southerly tweak. And of course this area here is that whole upper and mid-level system. That's why it's completely no winds. That's it pushing through to the coast, and you can see this start to turn southerly, and that's never a good sign. That means we're on the very outer edge of it, which is what we are. And you can see here now those winds start to then turn southerly and increase. And as soon as you start to see that, even that tinge from the southwest, it's dead set game over for everybody. And there we go into Friday. There comes that southerly surge, and like even GFS, I think it's even clearing out a lot faster than we saw last night. And you can see whack off it goes to the coast. Alrighty, let's go. We're going to have to ramp up this. So let's go quickly to Icon. We'll quickly scan. We can see there off the coast, the northeast is flowing. So let's go to midnight. I'll use my mouse because I won't use the annotator because it just takes too long pushing back and forward. Save it for the big models. You can see building off the coast here. You can see there's sort of nothing much happening. And then one interesting thing you'll notice already is that Icon has this mid and upper level systems nowhere near on the edge of the screen just yet. So they're still quite a while off. Let's push into 6 a.m. Monday morning. Icon already has that southerly surge. You can see the northeast is well off the coast, so Icon is not loving us. I'm assuming this is going to be quite a dry scenario, unless there's a massive dramatic change. And you can see that mid-level system now start to build as it comes towards the coast. Icon says, tough luck. I've already ruined your chances. All the fuel staying off the coast. You can see here the trough lying down very much off the coast and intensifying, mind you, and amplifying, but very well off the coast. You know, the good juicy bits are always on this side here, not this wrap around the backside. But we'll see. I mean, there's still going to be some showers with this stuff as that stuff flows up, but you can see with your own eyes exactly where the trough is lying. Interesting, there is a bit of a retrograde there towards the coast as that mid-level stuff gets closer, but you can see already the wind's turning southerly, and you can see here nice little bump off the that southern mid-north coast, northern Hunter area, early Friday night or morning, sorry. But you can see in comes that system, and good night Irene. So Icon, I reckon, is going to be the driest of all. Let's see how close I am in my predictions, but I think I'm going to be pretty spot on with that. All right, let's have a look at access, and hopefully then we'll see ECL will be done. All right, so just double checking this is 12.0Z access. Yes, it is. Beautiful. All right, let's go. Let's stick to tonight. Interestingly, more of a east-southeasterly flow already. You can see that building. We can see this inland system already building, which is cool. Let's go into tomorrow morning. Let's go 6 a.m. All right, so you can see the trough lying here. The very end of it heads around Newcastle. You can see just those light blues and how the winds stop. You can see it wrapping around. And you can see very clearly for your own eyes where the sort of the northern MS ends and the southern MS starts, round about here. And you can see what we're under, which is that sloppy maritime southeasterly flow, which will be, still be stream showers, but it won't be anywhere near the capacity for rain as northeasterly. You can see here, trough lying off the coast. You can see that little bump at the end here. It tries to get going. You can see it extends down here. It's a pretty messy situation. You can still see though, still see this inland system here building coming towards the coast, so we can still see southeasters, which is what you want to see, but you'll just notice just on the very edge of your screen there's a little tweak to the south, which the tweak of death to the south we don't want to see. Let's go to lunchtime Thursday now. You can see very much Axis is holding Icon's hand and they're skipping merrily up the coast, and they're saying to us, but you can see here the trough definitely off the coast with Axis as well. And then you can see, but still the southeasterly inflow, which is good. You can see it extends well down now. So mid-level, upper-level system still in the west. So it still hasn't come. So it's still holding out copium. But you can see here too, there'll be some decent showers around the axis of Met Thursday, because you can see how these lines are squeezing in together. So they're sort of coming in, and you can see they're quite fast. You can see like difference between these sort of like very small lines going slow, and you get these longer lines. Obviously, that indicates the strength of the winds. And then when you've got these lines, they're running into each other, which means the air is converging. So there's definitely still be some good coastal showers and rain stuff on Thursday, especially along the coast, and pushing, pretty much into the basin on axis. And then we'll get to 6 o'clock Thursday night. Again, you can see primarily the flow up to the north. You can see this dead area here, and you can see even the Hunter and the southern mid-north coast now under this sort of dead end going nowhere, southeasterly feed. But you can still see the upper system, mid-level system is still overland pushing to the coast, so at least there's something. And then you can see here the focus of that trough. You can see very much where it's focusing now. Axis is like really out on its own. So, but give it credit, it was the first person to peg that there was going to be some issues with the system and timing, whether the mid and upper level system ain't going to marry the surface system in a really nice clean way, which we want. And now this is where it gets interesting. So you can see already that trough and this whole mass is pushing south and very quickly. So fingers crossed it keeps going that way, and it doesn't get caught up. But obviously the worrying signs, you can see here that inland system, the winds are starting to turn to the south already, which means that upper level system, in fact you can even see the southern edge of it here, the upper and mid-level systems are starting to very quickly get to the coast. You can see here just a broad circulation, not a low yet, but very close to sort of an embedded low within the trough. And let's head into Friday morning. And you can see just with your own eyes that trough gets to just the southern mid-north coast, maybe northern Hunter, and then you can see that southerly comes ramming through, and it cleans out the system well before it was used to be. So I think at this stage we've got GFS, Icon, and Axis pretty much in the same pocket. That is not a good sign, but for anything. But we'll just check EC now, and I'm pretty sure EC is out. Let me double check. 0Z, that's Axis. Let's go EC here. Yep, 0Z, excellent. Only 30 minutes, so it's brand new, so we'll get to see it. So you can see again, pretty much matches up with what we've seen for the other models. Let's skip on to midnight. You can see that northeasterly building, which is good with all the fuel. You can see there's northeasterlies pushing to the coast. You can see that little flick coming towards us. All at the stage, keep an eye on this stuff here. That's where that system is coming in from inland, so that's very much a telltale sign. Let's go to Thursday morning, 6 a.m. Still southeasterlies, good sign. You can see here the trough building off the mid-north coast into the sort of northern Hunter. You can see that very clearly, but you can see the dreaded difference in air mass. You can see it very much finishing here very quickly, and you can see that southern air mass already sort of pushing into even to the southern Hunter. So this is maybe going to be... Let's go into Thursday lunchtime, and you can see here the most of the fuel and the best part is kept well off the coast. You can see a trough developing up here on the mid-north coast, and you can see again that very clean cut difference between the southern air mass and the northern air mass, which of course is never a good sign. Still southerlies feeding into that inland system, which is good, so we want that, and still maintains it, you can see, but here comes that southerly surge up the coast, and you can see the trough starting to develop right down into sort of the northern Hunter, southern mid-north coast. And let's go to Thursday evening. There we go. So EC is very much agreeing with Axis, which is unusual. You can see here, again, trough developing on the north coast, wrapping in. You can see anywhere between even the southern mid-north coast and the northern Hunter area is very much under this southern air mass. And so let's hope it pushes a bit further now, south. So it's starting to push south. You can see here the winds are, let's get the annotator on. So this is the last bit of, before we can pop into the rains. Well, look at what's got it. Okay, come on. There we go. So you can see, this is what I'm talking about here. But you can see where those air masses are. You can see it now getting into just about there is the difference. And you can see this is the southern air mass, this is the northern air mass here, all that lovely juicy moisture. The upper systems are here. Still southeasterlies here, but you can see the dreaded southerlies and almost a tinge of southwesterly. So you can see the upper level and probably mid-level system is just up to the top there. You can see how those winds are starting to just slow down and hook around a bit, so not a good sign. All right, let's go into Friday night, midnight. All right, so you can see again, nice little, probably just a very embedded, a very weak low at this stage, but it's more a trough, I'd say. But you can see the back end of it here, plenty of food. But then, of course, look at this, just huge gap, horrible narrow southerly, which will have not much into it. I mean, the winds are sort of still squeezing against each other, so there'll still be some showers around, but really not much in that stuff. And you can see here, now you can see the difference in EC already to every other model, including Axis. Now, whether it maintains this, I guess we will see in the long term. But you can see here, just a small embedded low trying to form. You can see the trough lying down here very clearly. You can see this massive air mass here flowing in. Again, but you can see very clearly where the Great Divide is. And it's not in here today, it's up here. You can see this upper level system now is heading very close to off the coast. And you can see the winds are starting to hit that south with even a little bit of southwest in it. It's not looking that good. But in saying that, if this system here gets going, X marks the spot, it will definitely take over and dry this stuff, because it'll suck that colder sort of system down. But that's really what we want to do. We want to this upper level system here to marry with this lower level system here. And when they connect and they stack vertically, that's when we can get to see the great weather. But until that happens, then we get to see this sloppy mess, which is then dominated by the different layers of the atmosphere, and that's never good for anywhere other than close to where the trough is formed. All right, let's kick out of there, and we'll get into Friday morning, 9 a.m. No, all right, so you can see here the dreaded southerlies, southwesterlies already inland. It's done and dusted. In fact, this may even disappear before Saturday on EC. Look at that. Definitely trying its hardest there, but you can see very much it's well off the coast now, and this southwesterly is wrapping in. That is done and dusted Friday afternoon. Wow, it's at least 24 hours ahead of what it is, and I think that's primarily because we saw that delay and we saw that low dissolve off SA today, and it gets absorbed and a bit further north than it was going to. Look at that, it's gone. It's gone Friday evening. Why did I do that for? Let's go. It is gone Friday evening. That's just pretty crappy. Let's go zoom out there. What did you do that for? Why are you doing this for me? All right, let's go here, and you can see the horrid winter westerlies winding up already on Saturday in joyful glee that it shredded another system for us and gaslit us. I mean, this is going to be a master's in gaslighting. This is not even just a degree. And then quickly, let's look at next week before look at those winter northwesterlies. Look at them lining up. Oh, caramba. I mean, it's amazing how they can F up rainfall, that sort of stuff, but they can maintain such gleeful outlooks for this trash that's going to be coming in. Yeah, that's not a very pleasant few days coming up. Dry, very strong winds. I guess the only redeeming factors at this stage is still not seeing them too much pushing towards the coast. We do get a bit of protection from the Blue Mountains, and you can see how much they take one for the team. Look at that nice big hole. But yeah, we'll see if that gives us much protection. But it's going to be days of very dry, windy conditions. So any moisture that we've gleefully squeezed out of the sky, which is not much in the last few days, is going to quickly disappear off into New Zealand or even Tonga, the way this is looking. All right, let's go into the rainfall now quickly. And because, yeah. Okay, the rainfall outlook. Look at that cute little graphic. All right, let's go. Let's look at the next 24 hours. So we'll do it from about now, which is 7 p.m., nearly 7 p.m. Let's go to 7 p.m. tomorrow night. So give you a good 24 hours. And we'll stick on the, good, the conditions part is on. So what you're seeing now, these numbers are the actual falls. We're going to zoom in. We don't want to care about anybody else. We just want about us. All right, so tomorrow before looked good. Rain on EC looks absolutely crap. So the next 24 hours, up to 15 mils on the coast, up to 20 mils maybe in the the Sunny Coast. Some good stuff in the west, which is what we'll love to see. Penrith, 12, Camden 14. So shout out to the mayor of Camden out there, you buggers stealing the rain from us. Poor old deep dark hole here in the middle, Hornsby through to that sort of Holsworthy, Liverpool area. Back of, what's that down there, Menai, Holsworthy there, isn't it, somewhere there? Down into sort of the army barracks and sort of into the Warrenora catchment, not much at all. And that's, these falls aren't even going to touch the sides in the terms of the catchment, so there's going to be no worries there. And even along these falls here, the Bureau's flood threat thing looks a bit hollow, but anyway, obviously maybe their internal monitoring is saying a bit different. We'll look at their ADFD model very shortly. All right, let's go into then to Friday morning and kick up in stuff. You can see the Sunny Coast and Southern Hunter, 60 to 30, 40 mils, so lucky them. Still, as I pointed out before, that northeast corner, the northern beach and that sort of stuff, still doing quite well because they're very close to that sort of wrap inflow. The south, not so much. And you can see there's not a lot of stuff happening overnight, which is pretty crappy considering this is when it's supposed to ramp up. So not at all looking at all good. And this is accumulated falls, mind you, too. This is not 24-hour falls. Let's just bugger it. We'll go into Friday morning. We obviously know what the outcome's going to be now. We pretty much guessed it. Pretty absolute gaslighting trash. But it is what it is. Massive downgrade. Even since last night when we thought we still have some hope. There's no hope in here. At best, the northern beaches, the northern east corner here, and Sunny Coast will do all right out of this, but the rest of us going to be shafted, and as the French say, let's go. Yes, that is cultural appropriation, and that's what it is. Deal with it. But get that. All right, let's go to get far away soon, and I'm no shocks or surprise to find how it's drier than whatever that lovely saying goes. This is not much happening tomorrow at all, which is disappointing. Obviously the Sunny Coast and Hunter are doing decently all right, and of course Northern Beach is doing decently all right again, and that northeastern corner does all right. Congratulations, you've earned a participation medal. Let's go to 6 a.m. Friday, and that band of precip is pushing down, as I mentioned when I saw that model before, and you can see here better in terms, especially the Central Coast and Hunter, of course. Even that northern area, so up to Lower Portland, through Hornsby, bits and pieces, and into basically draw a big line down the basin, and there will be the haves and the haves not, and you can really just basically draw a line here, even pretty through the harbour there, I think. So the haves will be here, and the have-nots will be here on this version anyway. Which are good as guests for Tracy and those at Lower Portland and their big Dargle water boat thingy that's coming up. Shout out to the Dargle water thingy, boat thingy, racing thingy. Sorry, if you're into that sort of stuff, check them out. Absolutely, Tracy would love to see up there. They run some accommodation as well, so I'm sure she could do you a deal. So she's probably already booked out, knowing how popular they are. But so I mean, this will be great for them. Not much run flow, enough to sort of make sure it's running nice and the water is nice and decent, but no logs and people and families and bits and pieces flushing downstream from any decent rainfall. So lucky them. And then we'll go into Let's Go, because we saw GFS basically had it cleaned and gone. So you can see here, still some good falls into Friday and into early Saturday before it clears out. So congratulations again to the haves, which is that sort of North Outlanders road, and the have-nots to the south, maybe 20, 15 to an inch, and no one likes an inch. But Northern Beaches at least have got, what's that, nearly 3 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches. I mean, Sunny Coast is the place to be. They're looking at getting up to 4 or 5 inches. Still nothing to brag about, I guess, but it's better than nothing. And getting up to the Hunter, of course, they're looking at 6 inches, which is, the average apparently. So that's good for them. But yeah, still not what we want to see. And that is all over Red Rover for GFS as of Saturday, as we know that, because we go here and you can see goodbye, good night, whatever we're going to say. All right. Let's look quickly into Access. Now, no, that's Icon. I want to see Icon because I want to see how my prediction is of it being the FU model of the night. Let's go just 24 hours because I don't think it's going to be anything worthwhile seeing for the next at all. There we go. Pretty much that band of showers, what we saw initially, where I said that sort of pushing to the coast. So again, Northern Beaches, Northeast Corner, congratulations. Sunny Coast, congratulations. I guess you got to get something for living in the Sunny Coast. Just joking. Shout out to the people of Sunny Coast. Love you lots. It's just joking. It's not our fault you live in inferior land. I mean, we love you. We're just joking. Don't take me seriously. I'm obviously sugar levels are low and copium level is gone. Seeing it's going to be drier than my sense of humour right now. But the have-nots down the south here, yeah. If you catch a drop, be thankful. Maybe throw a rain party. And I love camping, or go camping, whatever you're doing up there. Get stuffed. I mean, now we love you up there, but yeah, enjoy the rain. All right, let's go into Thursday morning, and we can see here I Love Camping is going to be out there doing the name dance, enjoying that. Nearly 50 mils for them. Lovely. Sunny Coast doing well, of course. Blah, 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 blah. Have-nots still begging for a drop or two. Obbs Hill just on that very edge of it, so 30 mils for them. They'll be pleased. That'll probably wash a few of the bit of the trash down the street into the gutters and that sort of stuff. Leftover dead bodies from Friday nights, office drinks, whatever it's going to be. Look after Rachel and put water her garden and clean out the crap so she can wear her wellies to work. But yeah, not much there. You can see very clear that delineation. Let's pop into. I don't think it's going to be much at all happening from here. We can see how quickly cleared away. Yeah, you can see those charges. You can see the massive falls of the coast. I mean, that's just. Boo! That should be over us. Icon, you suck. But we saw, and then that's pretty going where you can see it clears away very quickly, and you can see it not much else. So, Northern Beaches, Northeast Corner, congratulations. You have won 60 mils this weekend. Sunny Coast, 50 to 80, maybe 90. And the rest of us, well, it's not even worth mentioning those figures. Let's go into, what have we got left? We've got Access, and I think that's it, isn't it? Is that it, peeps? Access is the last one. We've done GFS, we've done EC. Yep. All right. Well, I reckon this could tie with Icon for being the stingiest, crappiest outlook. All right. So here's Access tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, big 5 mils. Congratulations, Mascot and Obbs Hill. Enjoy that. Let's go into Thursday afternoon. We'll go to 7 p.m. Where's 7? My God, here it is. Wow. The day that was going to have like 90 mils, and this is on their own model only 2 days ago, mind you, to 18 mils, that's a big FU to all of us. I'm still glad to see there's some falls up there because that obviously keeps the creeks running, keeps the people down Lower Portland, under control, and Tracy gets to sort of put them back in the paddock, so there's some grass for them. But really, there's not much happening there at all for this supposed thing that was going to bestow us all with some lovely rainfall. And let's go Friday afternoon because let's be honest, it's going to be absolute trash anyway. So as we can see, Northeast Corner, bit of a sort of focus in the Eastern Bevs. Maybe there's a bit of lip filler it's trying to sell, but not much happening there. But at least Rachel, you'll do well. 31 mils there, probably Northeast Corner again, into the Sunny Coast. And good job for you guys. But nothing, no increase whatsoever at all Friday, as you can see. And as I said, Friday, it's just absolute trash event. And I don't think there's going to see anything into Saturdays, but we just put it there for laugh or cries or whatever we're going to do. Pretty sob into my model outlooks and just wonder where life destroyed us and effed us over so badly. But you can see here, nothing at all increases at all overnight into Saturday. And it's good night, goodbye, and game over for Access pretty much, and that on Friday evening, to be honest. I think that's it. We'll have a quick look now at what Access C has for their high res for tomorrow, to see if you can at least bestow upon us at least a drop or 3. and it's looking drier than my grandma, and she's been dead for many, many years. Wow. I reckon I could spit more than that. I reckon probably too. I think I can just arrange Mr. Well to run around Wentworth with his hose, and I still think we get more rainfall than what we can see on this piece of trash. I mean, this is supposed to be. Look at that. Wow. Thank you, Mother Nature. Thank you for your 1.1 mils. I just feel so honoured. Oh, wow. I'm going to cherish it for life. I'm going to put it in a cup and put it in the freezer. Oh, wow. I think it's time for me to start believing all those tinfoil heads and 5G clowns, and I don't know, maybe it might be more fun believing in somebody's out there with a plane flying around causing this crap. I mean, if they are, let's be honest, if they are, they're stupid. And how could you get stupid people flying a plane that can't even organise it to rain properly? So, next person you see says it's man-made, it's weather modification. You can say, well, they're idiots because they missed us. So that's how stupid they are and how stupid their whole system is. And leave a 1-star review on their comments and that sort of stuff. How ridiculous. Wow. 1 millimetre. Woo! Oh, Penrith, 2.5 mils. Enjoy that, guys, at Penrith. You deserve that because you've missed out. So, in saying that, even Sunny Coast is getting screwed in this one. Like, enjoy, Barry, enjoy your 4.4 millimetres. Make sure you spend it wisely. Yeah, whatever. And I think this is as far as Axis C goes. You can see here it's starting to obviously look a bit better for them because obviously again that's at the southern edge of the trough, but literally, I mean, it's just got absolute trash. Oh, well, that is the breaks. I guess we all expected that. We all had in the back of our minds, how is she going to gaslight us this time? And this is, this has to be one of the better ones, I think. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Very not good. Very trashy. All right. Well, let's have a look what the forecast conditions are for tomorrow. And not only that, not only to rub salt in the wounds, but we're looking at tomorrow a midsummer's day. Let's go for a walk in the Black Forest. All right. Temps up to probably 20 to 23 tomorrow. I'd say partly cloudy, probably an isolated shower. You probably got more chance of actually catching something falling from a bird flying past than you do actually from the sky, but we'll see. I just can't believe that. That's absolutely freaking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. All right, well, let's just for a laugh, let's have a look at the Bureau's ADFD models throwing out for tomorrow. They're pretty laughing at we'll go back to us because we don't care about the rest of New South Wales. We're going to go and cry in our own little basin. It's my basin, and I'll cry if I want to. Let's go and I'll make it big. I should be big enough for you guys. Yeah, it is now. So here we go. ADFD. All right, let's go. It's going to show black because I have to go to the very end of the model because always the last one, 162. Look at that. So let's for a laugh. Look at the contrast in just 2 or 3 runs. So I mean, it's just begrudgingly giving us between 20 to 80 mils probably, and then Sunny Coast 80 to sort of 110, maybe 120. Not bad still for Sunny Coast. Stop complaining up there. Let's go. This is that's interesting. They've run. Look at this. This is obviously what they've done. This is their flood. You can see that in the chat, maybe not, but they've actually run 3 runs of this afternoon. So lunchtime, mid-arvo, and then just not long ago now. So 01, 05, and 06. So that would be because of their flood threat advice, I think, what they're modelling. So interesting. Let's see what the 5Z said, just for a laugh. No much change. So let's go. 1. I mean, look at that. The difference in 1 run. Like, this is only 4 hours. So 01 to 05 is 4. And my math is terrible, as you know, but that is 4 that I can count. Look at I need to swear. I need a button, actually. Where's that? Can I have a little beep button while I vent to myself? But look at that. In 4 hours. So in 4 hours, the great long-suffering people of Penrith, for example, 70 to 80 mils. In 4 hours, you guys get, oh, look at that, 25. Woo! Oh, man. We should actually get this and send this into like Gaslighting Anonymous or whatever. There's that website that exists. Exes who gaslight you. Weathermodels.com. Wow. 4 hours. I mean, it's going to make us cry if we look at what it said sort of this time yesterday, but we'll just do it anyway, just for causes emotional damage. But gasp. Oh, emotional damage, as Uncle Roger says. This is more than emotional damage. This is like long-term counselling PTSD territory. Look at that. 100 to 125, and wow, yeah. I mean, lol is probably the best way I can say it. Let's just for a laugh and see what the ensembles. This is a classic that I was saying to you yesterday about how they don't adapt very quickly enough in this sort of scenario, when everything is just dropping us like the proverbial. You can see here it's still sort of hanging up hope, saying just hang in there, it'll be okay. We'll just scrape a few mils out for you, girl. There is nothing coming this way, so stick your purple somewhere else because it ain't coming towards us. And I mean, that's insulting now. I mean, let's go look for a laugh. Let's go to CMC because we all know CMC is going to be giving us like 4,000 mils. And wow, CMC, you could be no wrong. I mean, wouldn't it be funny though if CMC, out of all the trash we've just seen, was actually the right model by comes this time Friday? 400 to 500 mils right over Central Coast, Sunny Coast. 250 to 300 mils over Northern Beaches, even over even out to Penrith, 100, nearly 100 mils. The Mayor of Camden, 125 mils. Like, lol. I'm actually going to download that. That's hilarious. That should be like a days when we're not feeling the best. Pull that up and look at it and just have a great old chortle. Actually, no, it may not be good for the days you're not having the best. I mean, come on. CMC, like you're either seeing something that no one is. I mean, if it's right, I mean, literally, lol. But yeah, 400 to 500 over Gosford. Love it. All right, let's see UK Met for this is now a walk in the Black Forest perspective. Okay, so and if you ever wonder what my reference is, and check out the goodies, you can. They were stuck in this, I was thinking it was a lighthouse because of some storm or something like that, or some giant rabbit, I can't remember what it was anyway, and that they were running a radio station and all they had left was one record, which is A Walk in the Black Forest, and they just kept playing over and over, and I think this is just reminding me of that episode. We can see, UK Met's just extending the sort of, the compromise, and sort of pushing down the coast, but that's definitely still showing that the favoured golden child of the northeast corner, down to about Obbs Hill, but still pretty good for Hunter and Sunny Coast. We'll see. We're not looking at you at Icon. You can just get nicked. Let's have a look at actually what the AI models are going now. Yeah, that's pretty much what we've seen. That sort of onion effect. Good stuff here. Trashy stuff here. No different. Obviously, the nuances about this banning is obviously a bit of a resolution issue. But let's have a look at what GFS AI is doing, and then we'll just all go and jump off the pier together. Okay, GFS AI is like literally trying to gaslight us a bit more, but it's saying, no, don't give up. Don't give, what is that song? Is it Kate Bush, Don't Give Up? Is it her or is that? I think it is Kate Bush, isn't it? Don't Give Up. Yeah, is that the pre-Wuthering Heights or the post-Wuthering Heights song? Not sure. Someone let me know in the comments. Is it Kate Bush? Is it right? Don't Give Up. I swear it is. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Wacky tobacco, yeah. Someone's tisking. Oh no, I go, Thomas, Mr. Dine is here. I wonder where you disappeared off the face of the earth too. Good evening. Right, let's go. I think that's about it. I think I've seen enough at this stage to cause me permanent trauma, at least for the next few days, and I am just going to avoid the absolute people. I'm not even going to use a derogatory term because that would be very lowbrow in the comments about, I told you so. Oh, those insufferable twats make me want to throw up. They clearly don't understand the word models. Yeah. Okay. I'll just have to put my emotional filter on somehow. Actually, I might get the better half to look at the comments. They're always much more pleasant and patient than I am. It's not that I'm not patient. I'm very patient. It's just like I get too emotionally invested because they don't see, unlike you people who do, because you guys have been always on the journey. They don't see the effort, the sweat, the time. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go through models, to put stuff together, stay up late at nights looking at stuff to make sure we got the right picture, all the bits and pieces, and they just are trolls. And it's true, I should ignore the trolls. It's true, and I shouldn't care what they think. But some weirdly thing I do, and that's stupid. Maybe one day I'll get that beaten out of me. Is there any place in Sydney that does that electrocution stuff? You know, when they wire you up and they give you shocks? Maybe they can do that. They can wire me up and they can put like the comment section in front of me, and they can just until I what's a comment? Actually, that's not a bad idea. I'm going to Google search that now. Well, let me just check in electrification. Oh, no, I don't want to self-electrocate. That's not the best site to be looking at right now. We might avoid that one, I think. Got some people have got some weird kinks. All right, that is enough. I think that's going to kill us all. I am going to quickly do this to say, questions graphic. Oh my God, guess what's coming up next, people? It's questions. Did you guess that? Oh, did I give enough hints away? All right, so let's have any questions. And if any of your questions are, is it going to rain tomorrow? I'm literally going to cry live on stream, so go for it. Let's go. Any questions? Mr. Dine, Mr. Eagle, can't... someone got in trouble by Mr. Well. Tisk. Don't Stop Running Up the Hill. That's the one. Thank you. I Go Camping. That's it. Don't Stop Running Up. Yes. That is the song. I knew it was like somewhere, the Kate Bush one. I just couldn't remember what it was. But it's Kate Bush, hey. Don't Stop Running That Hill. Is that the Running Up That Hill? No, I thought that was Wuthering Heights. I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't know. It's life's been busy. Well, yeah, I can totally understand that, Mr. Dine, and no issues there. Just pop by and say hello every now and then, yeah? Because I do wonder how you've been and how your studies are going. And I know you started your new course, so you're pretty all excited about that. And you just ditched a lot of us. So everybody, block Thomas right now. You'll be better for it. Just joking, Thomas. You know I'm joking. You know we love you, Thomas. But yeah, please let us know how you're going from time to time. I know you're focused on your studies and your health as well. That's 100% fair. You got the music in you. Yeah, Well, I don't know about Rachel, new music in me at the moment. I think it might be a little bit of bitterness, actually. I think maybe a dash of, as what do they say in the cooking shows, acidity. I think a bit of acidity in me right now, and I can taste that acidity, and it's actually right at the back of my throat. I probably need something sweet in my mouth. Oxy, Mrs. Lovely to see you. Welcome, and let me do the reply. Lol. Yeah, you go for it. Like I know that Mark Zuckerberg will probably personally look at your reply. So whatever. Rachel, get Stormcat to do the replies. Actually, yes. And it's almost the anniversary of Stormcat, so I'll definitely give you an update soon. He is doing absolutely amazing. Still stuck as usual. He's actually been at the door meowing to get in, but I've closed it. And his little paw comes underneath it, trying to get in because he wants to come say hello to everybody. But no, he's too sooky at the moment. Because he's whinging about having his thick coat on because obviously it's getting close to winter, but then he's happy with it because it got cold. So, typical cat. Can't make their minds up. Questions, Central Coast get lightning. Well, maybe tonight, but then I think it depends. Oscar, if you've been listening to what I've just said, good chance, maybe next 12 hours or so. No chance, maybe after that, but we'll see. I mean, I want CMC to win, so let's go. We're all going to root for CMC. Mr. What's going on here? My burner spare phone. I should correct the record. I don't have a burner phone because that obviously would be very naughty. I have what is the better half's older phone because they got a brand new iPhone. What is it, 17 at the moment or 18, whatever damn model it's up to, from their parents, mind you. Me, nothing, but they got a brand new iPhone, and so I got their older one, which is obviously just, and I've used it in the car as because if you've ever tried to buy a portable like Wi-Fi dongle or anything like that, they're incredibly expensive now. I thought my memory used to be like they were cheap, but now they're like $300 or $400 now. I'm like, nope. And I'm like, oh, I've got an iPhone sitting around that's not being used. I can just go to my mobile provider and get an eSIM for like $20 a month, something like that. Runs the Wi-Fi in the car, updates the software, done, cheap, saves me having to do it. So that's what I'm going to use for the WhatsApp stuff. I've been looking into that. It's pretty much ready to go, but I've obviously got no time. But now looking at the next few days, I'll have plenty of time. All right, so it's Wednesday today. Actually, tomorrow night I might set it up. Let's go. Peter Gabriel featured Kate Bush. Thank you, Funky Diva. I thought no one would block you, Mr. Dine. I'm just joking, Mr. Sharp. Second question is, what will this summer bring? Well, this is not about summer, so you'll have to wait, Oscar. This is about the event, and we'll be talking about what summer brings on Sunday when we have the update about rain outlook for winter. We'll also look at what's going to happen in spring, what's going on, and we'll look at some of the Enzo stuff, what's going on. We've all heard about the Super El Nino. It's going to be record-breaking. And that is the biggest load of clickbait you'll ever hear in your life, because severity does not equal the numbers necessarily on Enzo. That's obviously the temperature difference. So there's a whole lot of stuff that gets packed in between that. Yes, the higher there's plus values you see with the Enzo and El Nino can obviously indicate something is going on, but it doesn't necessarily always equal strength, just FYI. Because, you can remember back to La Nina's not long ago where they had, it was plus 12 or something like that. And it was like, look outside and like, oh, there's a cloud there somewhere over there. I can see a seagull. So again, it's all conditional upon a whole lot of stuff. So we'll look at that on Sunday and give you the latest of what's happening, whatever that's going to be. And I heard someone actually on the other day actually saying in a video that El Ninos mainly affect winter. And then it's the biggest load of trash I've ever heard in my life. They don't develop till spring, so how can they affect winter? If they're multi-year events, of course, they affect all of the year, but they don't develop till spring, because that's when obviously the Walker circulation starts to then become important for us, because it then shifts south with the Hadley cells. And of course, with summer coming and all the bits and pieces, that's when it becomes critical. This time of year, the feral cells, which are the stuff that hangs over to our south, are moving north, and we are more driven by those weather systems interacting with the mid-latitude systems. I just never heard the biggest drivel in my life. The lack of moisture may affect the very far north of the country, absolutely, but in saying that, El Ninos are not a winter system. It's just I cannot just shake my head. People it's clickbait stuff. Anyway, enough of me ranting. All right, let's go. Next week, bring in terms of humidity. Well, you'll find out Sunday. As said, this live stream is about this event. So tune in Sunday and all your questions about what's happening then will be answered. Will it rain? Peter. Love you, Peter. Thank you so much for your sense of humour. I need it. Cough burner phone. Yep, Rachel. Not sure what you're talking about there. All right. Drowning in tears. Yeah, be my tears. Oh, g'day, mate. MAAU. I've never seen you before, but lovely. Welcome. And if I have said hello before, I'm sorry. My brain is like Swiss cheese. Smells like it, and the holes like it. I do love Swiss cheese. Oh, and Jarlsberg cheese. Yum. On Parmigiana, Jarlsberg cheese on Parmigiana with a bit of barbecue sauce. The best, let me tell you. And fight me if you disagree, but fight me. But yeah, that's the best Parmesan. None of this tasty cheese is like, it's too much oil for a start, and it's like really overpowering unless you have those 3 cheese blends, and then it's all like drippy with mozzarella, and you got cheese drips and threads everywhere, and it's like, but Jarlsberg or Swiss cheese sits very nicely on top of it. You get those real rich flavors, those oaky flavors that come from the cheese, just the best. And the barbecue sauce, fight me, because I obviously have a sweet tooth. Put tomato paste on there, put even tomato sauce in there, whatever you put. Actually, you know what a good thing is there's a bit of Tabasco sauce, the green Tabasco sauce underneath the cheese. If you like a bit of spice, best Parmigiana. Oh my god, now I'm waffling. You can tell that the better half is home today, and I'm not having to run off and pick them up, and they're actually making dinner now. I can hear them banging the pot saying, "You're overtime" in the background. Yeah, it's coming. But otherwise, yeah. I thought we'd just end the note on a very positive thing after seeing some gloomy, trashy models. All right. Let's go. Go the Blues. Yes. Melty. Smoky barbecue. Yeah. Yes. Smoky barbecue. Yep. I can do that. I'm not normally a big smoky fan, but a little bit of smoky barbecue underneath the shell, cheese on top of the schnitzel, like the chicken schnitzel. And you can even work with, Wiener Schnitzel and Veal Schnitzel. Oops, I'm culturally appropriating. I'm going to get cancelled. Sue me. Yeah, definitely. Bit of that, but I honestly, I'm not a spice person at all, but that green Tabasco sauce, obviously not a lot of it, put that under a bit of cheese, like stuff like that. Oh my goodness me, it's quite tasty. All right. Now we're getting into trash. We are going to have a great night. We're going to still keep you updated. Don't worry, we'll still be here tomorrow night at 6 in the hope of something happens. And if not, we'll be able to have a look at what's happening on the mid-north coast or Hunter or wherever the rains are falling, if they're even falling at all. That will be the biggest question. Otherwise, it has been an absolute pleasure and it's been absolute hoot and some great fun having in the banter in the chat by the looks of things. And all questions, Oscar, will be answered on Sunday. Pop in then. You can have your list of questions. No worries. Happy to answer them then. But this is about this one event. And that is why, because I don't want to go scrolling through models and trying to find other stuff when I'm trying to find this. Otherwise, that's it. Thank you for your company. Love you all. Have a great night. See you in the morning, bright and early, for episode 13 of Gaslighting by Light, the Candlelight. Gaslighting by Candlelight. We should actually commission a series on Netflix about that. Anyway, ciao, take care, have a great evening, enjoy what happens. If we get anything, obviously we'll keep you updated if anything changes overnight, even then obviously we'll update you tomorrow morning. Stay kind to each other, enjoy the banter. Good night.